So I think we all know that Fortnite Save the World is not at its peak right now. I mean, just look at this graph. But let's take a second to talk about where it is and why I really think something needs to change, like right now. So, oh man, are we going to rip into this game. Now, credit where credit is due. I was inspired to make this video because I saw a Twitch streamer slash professional gamer make a video about the state of Overwatch, and I thought Fortnite kind of needs the same thing. Now, I'm not a professional gamer by any means, but given the uproar with this like recent patch and everything, I thought we need to take a step back and look at the bigger game as a whole. Look at everything that's going on right now in Fortnite. Talk a little bit about where it is and why some of this stuff needs to change, or specifically the things that I think really need to change for Fortnite to succeed. This comes from a place of love. I absolutely love this game. I still love this game, but as both a consumer and a content creator for this game, there are just some glaring issues that I think need to be dealt with. So, I mean, where is Fortnite these days? Well, I don't think it's good. And I can't be the only one that feels frustrated with Fortnite these days. Does anybody else feel frustrated with Fortnite these days? Right? I love this game. I am still playing this game. I'm going to continue playing this game, but it is just starting to get frustrating. And there's a few very obvious reasons why I think that is. So I wanted to cover the issues that I see. I compiled it down to, I think, like 5 of my most major issues. I want to encourage you guys too to let me know, how do you guys feel about this game? What are you guys thinking? Epic, if anybody on your team is listening, please listen. So I think the first major point that we need to dive into is just the fact that we need a storyline. We need a storyline. We don't need all these new weapons, new heroes, new little events. I don't think that should be the priority, because more is not better. I'm gonna hit you with a little bit of knowledge right now.
Knowledge.
There are countless real-world studies that show that more is not better. In fact, there's a famous scientific paper looking at jam, like from Trader Joe's, looking at jam. Now stick with me, we're gonna talk about jam here for a sec. Looking at if people bought this jam when given a lot of choices or just a few options. And these options show that just giving them a few choices and not a whole bunch of choices is actually more effective. It is better. More options is not. In fact, it actually just confuses the consumer because they don't know where to start, where to begin, what to get, because there's too much. It leads to the consumer getting more confused because there's just more stuff that they have to choose from, and in fact often leads to the consumer buying nothing. Nothing. Now obviously, Fortnite Save the World is not a Trader Joe's. They are not selling goods, but they are selling a game. It doesn't mean you just leave without buying a bottle of wine because there's too many options and you don't know which one to get. It means people actually leave the game because the time, the investment that it takes to really get to learn what weapon to use out of the like billion that we have is not worth the amount of fun that they're having. There's just too much to figure out, to learn, for them to even just get started. This makes it just not worth it to these new players. They say, F it, I'm gonna leave and find something easier for me. That's very quick to pick up, easy to learn. And I mean, I get this. I have played this game for over a year now, and I have my core set of weapons that I use. So unless this new weapon that's coming brings something that's just more powerful than one of the ones I already use, or a completely new playstyle or utility, I'm not going to care about it. I have what I like already. And if I was a new player, how would I even figure out where to start? I wouldn't know. And up to this point, I mean, I've been primarily talking about all the different weapons that they just keep adding to the game. But this also just applies to the heroes as well. I am still waiting on this new hero update that's supposed to be coming out soon. I'm a little skeptical because it sounds like they're giving even more options, more ways to just customize things, and unless it is clear and concise and easy, it is again just going to confuse people. More is not better. I'm thinking about some of the games that I have absolutely loved the most, that I have gotten immediately into and was able to consume for hours and hours and hours, right? I think of like TF2, right? There were 9 different playable classes. And you could modify those classes somewhat depending on the weapons that you use, but there were only 9 classes. What about Overwatch? That was a very, very popular game as well. Currently, there's 29 classes, but you can't change those at all. You have those 29 classes, that is it. They are not customizable. What about this new popular game, Apex, that has just come out? There's 8 classes, again, non-customizable. Now let's look at Fortnite Save the World. How many classes are there in Fortnite? I don't even know. I mean, yes, we have our 4 main different classes, but the water starts getting a little murky and unclear when there's, both soldiers and outlanders that specialize in pistols, when you have about 7 different characters named Kyle, and then when you have different skins and different names for the same characters as well. You can see why this is getting confusing, right? So then why in every single update are we still adding more heroes? I would love to hear from you, because does this make it more exciting for you guys? Do you guys like that each update we have a new reskin of a hero that we already have, or a new hero that you have to kind of learn how to use and incorporate into the game? Because for me, I don't need another Kyle. This is just making it more and more confusing. And unless I'm willing to really drop a lot of time into the game, more so than just an average casual player, I will get overwhelmed. I still haven't played every single hero that is out there, and I would rather have a storyline than have another Kyle-based hero that can throw down a base and throw down a turret, because why not? F it, more is better. Like, let us get a story. I want more storyline. And I do want to give a little bit of credit where credit is due. When I first started playing this game, there wasn't anything really for Kenny Valley. It was the same as everything below it, and they ended up making that whole biome. It was beautiful, it was wonderful, and then they came out with the storyline for all of Kenny now. That was great. The Storm King, that was huge. I absolutely loved that. But we're still lacking all of Twine Peaks right now. We're completely missing that biome right now. We're completely missing that storyline. We don't have any of that, but instead, we're getting a new winter event weapons and things, right? We're getting all, we don't need these new heroes, these battle royale leftovers. We need a storyline. We need a game. And that was a really long time to spend on point 1, which, to summarize TLDR, we need a storyline, not more of all this extra fluff. Then to hop into point number 2, I think this game is just getting too repetitive. Now, the reason it is so easy to just sink hours and hours into games like Battle Royales or things like Overwatch, TF2, whatever those games are, is because every single time you play the game, even though the map is the same, the classes are the same, the game is always different. You're always running into different players that have different skill levels. No 2 build battles in Fortnite Battle Royale are going to be the same, right? Things are always a little bit different, and you never know what to expect. We don't see any of that in Fortnite Save the World. Every single airdrop mission is essentially the same. You build your base, you maybe build a trap tunnel, you shoot the balloon down at 8 minutes, you defend it, and then that's it. That's the mission, and you do that over and over and over again. And in fact, now that I think about it too, the Atlas missions, the Save the Data missions, the Ride the Lightning missions, those are all essentially the same style of mission. It's just defending a point of interest. And every single one of those is played almost exactly the same. And again, credit where credit is due. There are missions that are different, such as, saving the survivors, building the radar towers, those sorts of missions. They are different, but those missions also just seem to go on forever. And it really also encourages people to go AFK, which is a whole separate issue which the community has had for a while now too. And I'm not even gonna go into that, but I mean, that's an issue too. And look, I gotta be real here. I don't have a good solution for making each of these missions a little bit different, more exciting. I don't even have good ideas for more missions. I mean, off the top of my head, things that I think could potentially be fun would be like a search and destroy for, powerful miss monsters, or like mini bosses or something that are hiding around the map. You know, I wouldn't mind something more similar to an escort the payload, similar to kind of like what the bomb is for those missions, but, you know, make that the whole mission type of thing. In fact, I would even love a mission where it's like you have to solve this puzzle and, you know, avoid traps or jump over pits of husks and to, you know, save a survivor or something like that, because I mean, I've been having a lot of fun in the creative mode where you're doing that. I don't know how you would incorporate that into Save the World, but you know, I mean, these are just things I'm coming up with kind of off the top of my head where it's very different, right? And each time you play the game, maybe the puzzle's a little bit different. You know, maybe the path of the payload is gonna be vastly different, right? These are things where each time you play it, it could still be very, very different. And so I think, again, we need some fresh air when it comes to these very repetitive mission types. Again, more is not necessarily better, but you can replace some of these, you know, very unpopular mission types with some of these new ideas, maybe even switch it up occasionally, because I think adding new missions is going to keep things much more fresh and exciting than adding in a new hero or a new skin or a new sniper that just does slightly more damage or higher impact than like another sniper. But I mean, let me know what you guys think too, because I wanna hear what you guys think as well. Now, these two have already taken up a whole bunch of time, so I'm just gonna quickly rush through my last three glaring issues that I see with the game, and I'll go through them a lot more quickly, so that way this isn't like an hour-long video, just me digging deep and complaining about Fortnite Save the World. So number three, one of these big issues that I'm seeing are just like the delays and the lack of effort really put into this game by the development team. Now, I am sure the development team is absolutely working their butt off for this game. Problem is probably very small. So even if there's one person just working their butt off as much as possible, right? One person cannot make a game work for a whole bunch of people. They cannot develop this whole game super well. I'm sure there's more than one person. But what I'm saying though is that there's a big lack of just like the developmental workforce effort. I don't even know. Get into that a little bit. I mean, some of these patches end up getting delayed. With the recent patch, it probably wasn't play tested very thoroughly. Oftentimes the content we're promised that we get hyped about ends up getting delayed as well. So with this, don't let us get hyped about these new aspects that may be coming to the game if you cannot deliver them. I would much rather see you guys, and I'm talking to the dev team here, I'm talking to you guys, I would much rather see you just put some time and effort into doing it, releasing it, rather than saying, here's what we're going to do, it's gonna come out next week, and then it taking, 3 or 4 weeks for that to actually happen. I am super impatient. I want that ish now, I want it yesterday. Like, at least don't say, hey, we're gonna have it soon, and then not be able to deliver. The fourth big issue too is just the fact that we have game modes already here that aren't completely finished. And probably the best example I have of this is something like the Deliver the Bomb, right? Where there was a while where it was just completely glitched out, and there was oftentimes you couldn't even complete the tracks from A to B. On top of that, the animation for when you succeed and you're supposed to blow up the rift, that still isn't even in the game yet, right? We've had Deliver the Bomb for forever, yet we still have not even fixed that. And this sort of ties into point one, which is again, why are we adding all these new things to the game when we still have issues with what is already there? Take what we have, or what the game was meant to be really, and make that exceptional, rather than just trying to throw on more and more stuff to kind of cushion the fact that we still don't have things like an in-game. We still don't have the animation for the Deliver the Bomb, right? Fix those things first, please. I'm begging you, please. And then lastly, just the last point that I really want to make is please listen to the audience. I feel like with Save the World in particular, there's a lot of amazing people that are really committed to this game, and they have amazing ideas. I mean, some of the most interesting and amazing ideas for like new HUS I have seen on Reddit. Some amazing animations and things I have seen on Reddit, and yet I don't ever see the devs really making this huge effort to interact with the community other than an occasional post or an occasional video saying, here's what we're doing. Because I mean, these are some amazing ideas, and I get that it takes a while to take an idea and put it into a game. That can take a long time. But some of these ideas are fantastic. They could be game changing. They would make me want to play more, and yet I don't ever see them incorporated into the game. Or even more so, I don't even see them being replied to by anybody in development. I just see the community saying, hey, we would love that, or hey, we hate this, and then that's it. If you listen to your consumer group, you're gonna end up with a much better product. And I'm gonna end this video just by saying, I love Fortnite Save the World. I still think it is a very fun game, but there are some issues that I really wanna see fixed. And it is frustrating as a creator to see these same issues over and over and over again and not get addressed. So I wanted to throw this out. I wanted to see if the community, one, really agrees with me, because these are my opinions, and then Epic, if anybody is listening, please actually listen. That's pretty much all I wanted to say. So anyways, I'm gonna sip my coffee. Epic, hit me up. I got some ideas, and if not, community has even better ones. See you guys in the next one. Oh hey, feel free to use my creator code too if you want. Iolaus, good stuff.